Okay. Jai Baba, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday's session. Before we commence, we'll have a short prayer. Janice, could you do the small prayer, please?
Beloved Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Thank you, Baba.
At the onset, I'd like to invite our Lord Meher Baba to please come and join us for this session. Not only just join us, but to also take over the entire proceedings. Let each word be spoken as per your wish, Baba. Thank you. Today we have with us Joanna Tompkin. Any picture, Kashi? Joanna, could you start your audio video, please? Jai, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
You'll have to excuse me. I have a bad bout of cough and cold.
Mm.
Joanna is from our Mainnat Cultures office. She spent many years in Baba's service. And today she is going to share with us her experiences and also her meetings with various Mandli members, especially like Bauji, Mani, and of course, she wants to share something important with Adi Junior and Freni, which she says is not in any of the books. So it should be a very interesting session. Let's go ahead and all yours, Anna. Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. I'm calling beloved Baba to be here with all of us and to come and say what he would like to say through me. I have been asked to share some of those memories of what happened for Adi or Freni, his wife. And Adi, of course, Adi Jr. was Meher Baba's youngest brother. And he lived in the house where we can go today, even today, for Darshan in Pune, in the Camp District. And that's where he grew up. And he used to, like similar to Baba, he would walk to school or cycle to school. And he would often go past Babajan, Hazrat Babajan. And everyone knew that she was a great soul. But Adi didn't have much personal interaction with her, just he really respected her. But one day she called him to her And every time he went by her, he used to tell us that she spoke in sort of this other language, almost like she was speaking in tongues, a language of the gods, and no one could understand her. But this particular day, she spoke out clearly to Adi, whether it was Gujarati or English. I'm not sure which language, but he understood her clearly. And she looked at him. He's a young boy, a young man, um, early college age. And she told him, speak the truth, no matter how difficult it is. And that was it. And that he took that as an order, and he kept that with him for his life. And people used to say about him that he was very bold, and he just spoke out what he was thinking. And I personally felt, really he did take that to heart, and he lived it. So that was one incident that I recall. And he married, of course. He married Vilu's sister. That was Sarosh, Babas Mandali Sarosh, Irani, was her sister. And but unfortunately, she died in childbirth, giving birth to her first child, a son who was Dara. And most of us have the pleasure to know and come to really love Dara. But he never knew his mother. And Adi he told us he had no desire to remarry. And so, but as it would happen, there was someone who completely fell in love with Adi, and that was a young woman by the name of Franey. And she, again, there was a family connection with Babas Mandali. She was the cousin of Katie and Goher, Babas to Mandali. And she was a little bit younger than Katie and Goher. And so Franey lived for a short time with her family in the Kusher Quarters Trust Compound, where I have the Baba's great Nazar is looking after me, because that is my home now, by his grace. And I came here when I came to be with Bauji, but I found out from Franey, she began telling us when I would go to visit family later, she began telling us these stories of Kusher Quarters. And she remembered times when Baba would just casually come and no one would know. And I've heard multiple stories like that where Baba would just show up. And one day she was a young girl and she was playing ping pong on the ping pong table, which I believe was on the veranda where Craig Ruff lives now, a former trustee and from America. So anyway, she was playing ping pong by herself somehow. And Baba walked into the compound and walked right up to Franey, this young girl, picked up a ping pong paddle and just started playing with her. And I just was so touched by that, to think, how he was with children. And with children, he was a child. And this is just so beautiful and touching to think that this happened so naturally. So this was Baba. This was a beautiful incident of Baba. And like many of you are fortunate to have known so many of Baba's Mandali. And I had a chance to meet quite a few, but doesn't mean that my stories are anything special, really. They're just things that Baba gave me that chance. And so I feel it's good that we share. When I came to, I knew Bao quite well in the US. For years, I was sort of following him to different ones of his sahabas in my home state of Oregon, and also in California, and at Marana, in San Francisco, and also in Los Angeles. And so, and I had one chance to be in Myrtle Beach with him. So I was fascinated with the details of how this young man, Bao Kalchuri, actually came to him, how he found out about Baba and what happened within him to make it happen. And I know that it's written down, but there are a few things that just stand out for me that he shared with us personally and sort of underlined as really important. So I'd like to share that with you. So it was December. It was December 1952, December 1952, when Bao was in college in Nagpur University, and he was a brilliant student. They called him Panditji because he was really very, very intelligent and very, very wise. And even for a time, Bao did some palm reading just for sort of for a lark, and things happened, and the things he told actually happened, and so he didn't want that kind of attention, and he stopped it of his own accord before hearing about Meher Baba. But he was very serious about his studies, and Bao was getting 3 master's degrees at the same time. He got a degree in law, a master's in law. He got his LLB, and he got a master's in public administration and another master's in science. He was interested in agriculture, and he was interested in other subjects like biology. And what almost no one knew until 1 or 2 people may have known but kept it a secret, was that he actually also completed his PhD. He did not sit for the thesis because Baba called him, and then he joined Baba. But Baoji, so 3 master's degrees and a PhD, which he did all his own research for his PhD. He had it ready to submit. But when Baba called him, Baba asked him about his exams, and he told him the truth. He had exams, and Baba sent him back to continue and finish his exams. But let's rewind a little bit on how did it happen? How did he get this chance? And what happened? If he was such a serious student, then how did it happen that he wanted to leave his studies and look for God? Well, he was never particularly interested in the spiritual life through his college. That's what he told us. But then there just came some kind of transformation came over him, and he got this extraordinary restlessness, that he just couldn't, he didn't know how to get out of it. And he wasn't even 100% sure of what it was, but he was very, very restless inside and not at all satisfied with just the life he had lived up to this time. And one of his professors suggested that he go to Rishikesh and he contact a particular yogi in the Himalayas. And so Bao thought, okay, if he really respected this professor, and so he thought, if he thinks it's a good idea, then I will do this. And he was very, very serious about it and started making plans to go to the Himalayas. And if the yogi asked him to give up his life, he was now married to a 20-year-old Rama Kelchuri. And he had one very small baby daughter, Sheila. But this restlessness was beyond anything he'd ever experienced. So he was prepared to give it up and go to the Himalayas. And so he decided he'd go to Sauner, the city of Sauner, from Nagpur, where he stayed at his university, and he'd stay with his sister, and he'd make preparations and plans for his family so that his family would be well taken care of and when he left them. And so he was in the middle of that. And when he was in Sauner, an article appeared in the newspaper, and it was announcing that there was going to be a darshan with Meher Baba. And he didn't feel that he didn't feel anything for Meher Baba, and he hadn't heard who he was. So, and the darshan that he saw in the paper was not in Sauner, it was in Nagpur. So he decided, I won't go there. That was the first he heard Meher Baba's name. I'll go and stay with my sister and make plans for the family so I can go to Rishikesh. So he went to Sauner, but when he got to Sauner, then there was a second article in the newspaper. And the second article was saying, now there's going to be a darshan in Sauner. So one in Nagpur that had now finished, and then there was going to be one in Sauner. So the darshan was scheduled for the 31st of December. And because he was already in Sauner, he thought he'd attend it. And come to find out, his family and his wife Rama's family were quite a prominent family. And so it was his, Rama's side of the family had something to do with the organizing of, quite a bit with the organizing of the darshan, and all darshans for important spiritual figures that came to town. And so did Bao's side of the family. They also, in fact, Bao's brother-in-law, that on his sister's side, had actually met Meher Baba and never mentioned that to Bao at the time. So Bao was on his way to his sister, and he got down at the railroad track in Sauner with his wife, Rama, and small child, Sheila. And at the railroad station, there was all this bustle and all this excitement, and so many people rushing to go to see Avatar Meher Baba. And now Bao knew who he was, or knew his name, and thought, wow, well, maybe we should just go straight there. We won't go to my sister's place. And so he took his whole family to the darshan, and that was on the 31st. And when many of you might know this part of the story, it's quite amazing. When he got there, there were about 20,000 people attending this huge darshan, and so many people that they had to sit down on the ground and just scoot along the ground one by one, very, very slowly, and get up closer to get their darshan. But while Bao was on the ground, he was enjoying watching Meher Baba and his love, and how he was giving the prasad of a banana, and such sweet smiles and love he was giving to each one. Just, it looked like special attention to each one, and Bao was just more and more getting intoxicated with this darshan atmosphere, and waiting for his chance. So after a long, long time, because of so many people being there, he got very close. And his brother-in-law on Rama's side came up to him, and Bao told us this personally, and he said, Kalchuri, what are you doing down there? You don't need to stay down there. You know, we organized all this. I can take you up to see Meher Baba. You don't have to wait. And Bao looked at him like nothing doing. I'm staying right here, and this is actually an extraordinary experience, watching and feeling the love for as long as he was in the queue. So he let all the history and all the past and all the family just fall away, and stayed in the queue and got his chance. And of course, when he got his chance, he was right up to Baba. He was thinking, now's my chance, and he'll look at me, and he'll smile at me as he is with everyone else, and he was looking forward to that so much. And when he got up there, Baba handed him a banana and just turned his head, and then Bao was pushed away. And Baba never made eye contact with Bao. And Bao took that banana and walked off, and he ate the whole banana. He didn't peel it. He ate the skin. He ate everything. And he said, I was just, I was like crazy. I didn't know what I was doing. I just ate that whole banana. So he often laughed about that, how, he didn't have any sense at all, because he was just overwhelmed with beloved Baba's love that he was giving him. So now he was really intoxicated by this love. And now he felt, I must meet him. I must meet him. So he started trying to find people that were close to him, so that he could find out where Meher Baba was staying. And he didn't have much luck on that first day, but finally he did find out where Baba stayed. He was staying in a place called Circuit House in Sauner. And but when he made his way over there after the darshan program, there were so many Mandali members and other close Baba lovers that were guarding the place. they they kept it very secure for Baba, and there was no chance that he was going to get in, so he had to have a plan. And he decided, he met one fellow who what was his name? Well, he met one fellow who had a child, and that child was very upset that he hadn't been able to get a darshan, one of Baba's darshans, and he wasn't going to go to bed, he wasn't going to go to sleep, he wasn't going to eat until he got a garland of Baba's. And so Bao thought, well, this is my chance. And so the fellow said to Bao, then will you just take a note to Baba? Maybe you can get in that way with this note. And so they wrote the note, and Bao gave the note to one of the mandali or watchmen that were there, and they took it to Baba, and they came back and said, here's your garland. And Bao was still in this state of just joy and intoxication, and he picked up all of the petals that were dropping and just ate them, and then gave the garland to the child. So no meeting with Meherabad, and Bao was burning with this unbelievable desire to see him. So then he found out through some people that were there that Baba was going to have a second darshan the next day. And so, of course, he attended that. But something that I didn't really take in when I first heard this story was that there was someone else who also attended these darshans, and that was his wife Rama and his little baby daughter Sheila. And Rama being only 20 years old, but she was immediately intoxicated with Meher Baba. She also got the arrow of Baba's love in her heart. And I thought, after I got to know Rama, as I know her very well now, she's an extraordinary woman, really, for the life she's lived. She gave up her family, she gave up her wealth, she just lived under Baba's orders her entire life, and gave up her husband to Baba. And Rama was hit by her own type of arrow, and I thought, wow, what a perfect plan our avatar spun. He got the husband, and then he got the wife, and so the wife was completely surrendered to whatever it was that beloved Baba wanted. And what a plan it was for Baba to arrange it this way, that everyone came. And so it did happen that way. And Rama had a second darshan, just so that it really was complete for her too. So the second darshan again went the same way for Bao. And when he finally got up there were at least 20,000 people there, which to me as an American, that's just an unbelievable crowd, because our Baba groups are not that strong as they are in India in numbers. They're strong in heart, but not strong in numbers. So Bao got up to Baba again, and again, he was hoping for that glance, and nothing doing. It didn't happen. The second time as well, he was pushed away, and Baba didn't look at him, and he gave him his banana. So now Bao's had 2 darshans and no meeting. So he was really just getting distraught. He wanted to join Baba. Even now, just with the 2 darshans, he was convinced this is for me. And he was not thinking of anymore of Rishikesh. So he knew now where Baba was staying. And so he decided, well, they're telling me he's leaving tomorrow, leaving Sauner. So I'll just go there early in the morning and wait. So that is what he did. He went to the house where Baba stayed. Outside the gate, he waited until Baba came, and then he exited. He got into the car, bowed, didn't get to see him. But somehow Baba didn't go very far, and he stopped at a crossroads. He describes it in Lord Meher as the civic lines. So whether that was the city end of the city, I'm not sure. But Bao was able to follow them, and he at least got another glance of Baba as Baba briefly got out of the car. And Eric told a little short story about Ram and about Hanuman. He remembered that. And then Baba went on his way, and now he was going back again to Nagpur. And now, in the meantime, Bao had really investigated these people that were close to Baba, just trying his best to find out anybody that could help him. And he met one person by the name of Vibhuti, and Vibhuti was a very, very close one to Baba. And he took a message to Baba and said, I've met this young man, Bao, and he really has a sincere desire to meet you. And is it possible? And by now, Bao had followed him all the way to Nagpur. He found out from that when he followed Baba that Baba was on his way to Nagpur. So Bao made his way back to Nagpur. And it was in Nagpur that after, again, quite a long, this attempt to see Baba and that attempt, and it wasn't well publicized that he was back in Nagpur. He saw something in the paper, but it didn't seem to, maybe it was too late or something when he saw it. So, yeah. Is someone asking a question? I hear others. Okay. Okay. So now Bao's in Nagpur, and this is where, because of this, the kindness, the loving kindness of Vibhuti, Bao finally got his audience with Baba. And so he went in to, I wanted to just the questions that he asked. I just wanted to look at my notes because it's very it's very sweet the way that Baba interviewed him. And he said first he asked him what he did, and Bao said that he was a student in his final examinations. I'm appearing for my final examinations in my master's degree. At that time, he didn't say anything about a PhD. And Baba asked him, what do you want? And Bao said, I want to live with you. And he asked if he was married or single. And of course, he told him about Rama and his daughter Sheila. And then Baba asked the big question, which would have been a bombshell for for me, certainly, but he said, will you obey my instructions? And without hesitation, Bao said, yes. And then there was a fellow, a close one by the name of Pankaj, who said, what does he know about obedience? And Baba scolded him and he said, he knows better than you do about how to obey. So Pankaj kept quiet. And Baba said to Bao, if I told you to go out in the bazaar and take off all your clothes and walk naked through the bazaar, would you do such a thing? And Bao, and would you leave everything and do this for me? And Bao immediately started taking his clothes off right then and there. And Baba gestured for him to stop. Don't do such a thing. And he got his answer from Bao. And then Baba sent Bao back to his college, and he said, I want you to go back and I want you to complete your exams and complete your work. And for a while, Bao was confused about this. You know, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to remain with Baba, but Baba said it very strictly, I want you to go back. And so he did. And later on, he told us, Baba had explained to him what the significance of that was. When he went back and took all his exams, well, he showed us a picture, and I believe it's in Lord Meher too, of Bao with his convocation robe. And he actually was called by Baba the day before the actual ceremony. He had already completed everything. He got his diplomas, but he did not attend the convocation because Baba called him. And Baba told him much later that the reason I sent you back was I wanted to unlink you with all your worldly responsibilities and attachments. And that's what Baba was doing, and his family history and everything. So that is the story of how Bao, who later also Baba said, there were 20,000 people at that darshan, but in Sauner, but I was after one fish and I caught you. That was the fish I wanted. So it's extraordinary, these Mandali members of beloved Baba, who they are really. If I had eyes to see, I would just be blushing for even have been able to meet such people, to know them, but to know them intimately and for years. It's just, I thank Baba all the time, every day. I thank him for that. But Baba knows I long to meet Baba, as several of you have and are fortunate to have. I see Pareen is there, and Sam is in your group, and so many in the Mumbai group have had that chance. But and they are so generous sharing their stories. So I had some, is there any question at this point? I have a few more things I was going to share, but does anyone have any comments or questions?
Anybody for any questions, please speak up now or hold your peace forever.
Please carry on, Joanna. We are just enjoying these moments. Please carry on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So um the so Bao did join Baba, and Bao's family was completely taken care of. And it's the link between Bao and, of course, his family. It's it's very beautiful because clearly Baba decides these things for all of us. He helps us with our relationships, and he puts us together with who is best for us. And he links and unlinks us with people that are not necessary for us, and circumstances that are not necessary, not required for us. But Bao, I've heard some people say, "Oh, you know, he was just a night watchman," and that's not much of a duty. Any servant can do that job. And the interesting thing is, when Bao used to tell us about night watch, he said he would sit in Meherabad, in that, you know, when you walk into Baba's room in Meherabad, that big cushioned chair right opposite Baba's bed that we all sit in, that chair was Bao's chair for doing night duty. But night duty was not a duty of watching Baba sleep, because Baba slept very, very little. And he needed sleep, but he didn't get much sleep. And he would be dictating to Bao. Bao did all the Hindi correspondence. He would be teaching Bao to write. And at first, Bao really protested because he was not trained as a writer. He was trained, you know, as a scientist and law and other worldly types of areas. But Baba himself decided that he wanted to teach Bao how to write. And he started teaching him how to write ghazal. And Baba would pound his thigh to give Bao the sense of the rhythm of a particular ghazal. And he finally he wrote one whole book, and Baba said, this is good, but it's not what I want. And Bao was, he had put his heart into it, but it wasn't the right style. And Baba, of course, was an extraordinary ghazal writer, and he wrote as Huma. So Bao had to learn this way, and little by little, he started getting it. He started learning what Baba wanted. And Baba would pound the rhythm on his thigh, and Bao would start learning that, and learning the rhythms, the different meters of the ghazals. And he also dictated a number of books to Bao during night watch. And Bao also said that he was in Mandali Hall when Baba was going over God Speaks, and they were making the final changes and corrections on God Speaks, and Erich was there, and a number of other Mandali were there. And Bao used to say to us, not that many of the Mandali were really interested in that material. And he said, I found it really, really fascinating. And because he was very interested in it, he had an extraordinary understanding of what Baba was actually saying. And that depth that he gained from that, it again went into the ghazals. And later on, it was suggested that Baba should have a biographer. And Baba picked Bao, and he said, I want you to write my biography. And Bao tried to get out of it because he literally had very, very little time. He was night watch. Baba didn't want, if Baba was apparently, sometimes he wasn't actually sleeping, but it was a sleeping time, and Baba had instructed him not to move at all and not to make a sound. And he had to do that. No toilet, no nothing, for hours upon hours. So no coughing, no, there's stories of invaders coming into the room, and in the insect form, or different things that happened like that. But Bao had to he did his best. And of course, none of the Mandali, they all admit they were not at all perfect, and they made mistakes, but Baba's compassion would forgive. And so Bao did his night watch, and Bao just couldn't get out of this, writing Baba's biography. Baba insisted, I want you to write it. And he said, I have no time. But then right at the end, 1968, Baba started giving him instructions about what he wanted written. And he said, I want it to be in verse. And Baba had spent years training and teaching Bao how to write ghazal form. And so he said, I want it to be in verse. I want it to be 800 pages. He said, yeah. And he said, don't worry, I will give you the meters. So you don't have to worry, but just start preparing for this idea that you're going to do this. And so Bao accepted it after some time, because he was extraordinarily busy. He hardly had time to even visit the toilet or have his food himself, because he would be doing correspondence after night watch, and he was just round the clock. He was busy, and he didn't have the time for writing, even though Baba kept pounding him on the writing. He said, I want it to be 800 pages, and I want it 100 of those 800 to be about my manifestation. And then Bao proceeded to dictate to Bao. Baba gave Bao his manifestation, which I believe is on the Trust website. If you look under the out of print publications, you can access it. And you can also access the original Lord Meher there, the first edition that was approved by Bao. So how did it happen that Bao wrote this huge book with 21 volumes? Well, and it wasn't, it was in English, and it wasn't verse. So he wasn't able to write this book, Meher Darshan. He wasn't able to write this at first because he didn't have the meters. Francis Brabazon, who is also a poet, said, well, Bao, I think you're off the hook. It's okay, because he didn't give you the meters, so you don't have to do it. And Bao said, no, nothing doing, no. don't you remember, and Bao remembered, there was a time when he and Erich were with Baba, and it was pretty much just the two of them in Baba's room. And Baba actually spoke. He said the word through his vocal cords. He spoke, and he said Yad Rock. Baba spoke. And remember this. And then with sign, he said, I am not the body. So that was in 1968, and it was very late in 1968. He said this word, Yad Rock. And so I always felt that Bao had that knowledge, that was so important to Baba, that he understood that he was not limited by the body, and he is here with us. And I truly feel, and we got this from the Mandali, that Baba is here now. He is with us. He's with us right this very moment, physically, not just in our hearts, but he's physically in the body right this moment with us. But we can't see him because, or at least I can't see him because I don't have the eyes. But I know it. I know it's true because he said it's true. And so Bao was convinced that he wasn't the body, and he had said he would give me the meters. So he decided, he's ordered me to do this. He's left his body, and I'm going to just collect all the material now. He didn't have the time when Baba was in the body, but after Baba dropped the body, Bao began. And he took 3.5 years of interviews and traveling all over the Indian subcontinent. And he contacted many people abroad for their stories and their sides of this and that in the life of beloved Baba. And Bao took notebook after notebook of notes, and he took those notes, he wrote them in Hindi, and then Bao translated his own notes into English. And he decided, well, he still hasn't given me the meters yet. So he started writing it, and he wrote 21 volumes worth of notebooks. And he got it published in California because there were some people that were stepped up and were going to financially back it to get it out. And so the 21 volumes came out in America in English in the first edition. And then when he finished it, it wasn't long after finishing this work that Baba came to him, and in a dream. And in this dream, Baba was standing at a chalkboard, and he was writing out the meters. And as soon as Bao understood that that's what Baba's doing, Baba disappeared. And he wasn't able to grasp what the meters were. So Baba disappeared. And a weaker soul might have just said, okay, I can't do it. But no, this is Bao. How much he loved his beloved. And he said, so he had all these notes. He had everything. And he no sooner did he finish that publication of that English version than this Baba appeared and gave him the meters for the Meher Darshan. So you can't say that isn't Baba's plan, that he have both the full written and also the ghazal form. So Bao then, that same night that he had the dream, he started writing Meher Darshan, and he wrote it in an extraordinarily short time. It was 800 pages, like Baba said, and yeah, and so now we're blessed that we have Baba's life in verse form according to Baba's instruction, and we have all the details that he collected in Lord Meher as well. So it's almost 7 o'clock, and I know we want to finish tonight promptly. I'm just so grateful that Baba's given me this chance to a little sharing with you all. He loved the Mumbai Center so much, and all of you dear ones. So thank you for inviting me, and thank you to our beloved Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Thank you, Joanna, for this beautiful, touching stories. There's one thing I want to ask. You know that picture frame right behind you?
The big one,
No, the small one.
the small one.
Where has it come from?
It's a card that was reproduced by someone. It's a New Year's card. I believe it was someone in the Telugu language. Since I
Oh,
don't read Telugu, I think it came through Marinat's office, so he gave it to me.
I see. Because not the same picture, but the frame is very familiar to me. Alobaji used to make these frames
Oh,
and give it to people all over to put them in their homes.
yeah.
And it just took me back to the times when Alobaji used to, and he was so enthusiastic about it. One of the places I still think this frame exists is at the tea stall at the Ahmednagar railway station.
Oh,
Uh, when I had visited that railway station many, many years ago, and I asked them, who gave you this Baba's picture? So they said there was a man called Aloba. He just one day rushed into our tea stall and he said, this is Ahmednagar and he's so famous for Meher Baba and you don't have his picture here. You must have it. And he had his kind of a bag where he was all set, you know. And he said, okay, come on. You know how Alobaji was. He was
yes.
very forceful. So he said, come on, let's put it here. So they said, but I don't have a nail and hammer. And, he said, don't worry, I have nail, hammer, everything. He dug it all out, tuck, tuck, tuck. And he put that picture there. And he's done it. And that's not the end of the story. He would, after it's finished, he would ask for some money. I don't remember whether it was 15 or 20 rupees or something like that. Because he was of the belief that none of Baba's things should be given away for free because people don't value it. That was his conviction. So even if he gave you a picture, Baba's picture, he would say, okay, give me 2 rupees or something like that. Always. Alobaji always did that. And it just took me back in times and, lovely memories about.
Yeah.
Anybody has any questions? There's a lady called Farah. She wants to ask something. Just a minute.
Jai Mer Baba.
Jai Mer Baba.
Yes. So I was hearing your experience with Bauji. Just curious to know if you could share and if it is okay with you, which was one thing about Baba that he spoke to you that touched you? I'm sure there would be many, but if there is something very special and if it's okay with you to share, it would be really great.
Did you get it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, last time when I joined you, I told the first moment that I heard about Baba, and he spoke to my heart at that time. Adi K. Irani was speaking on the stage, and he told me, Baba spoke in my heart and said, "You found what you're looking for." And I that was the first time I could distinguish between mind and heart. And I knew it was my heart speaking to me because I disagreed. And I said, I didn't know I was looking. And in hindsight, of course, I was looking for God, but maybe not in the traditional way. But I was taking coursework at university. I was reading books. I was talking to people. I had joined a meditation class to see if I could find God that way. But I didn't know I was looking. I thought I was just doing what everyone was doing. But then the voice spoke to me a second time and in my heart and said, "You found what you're looking for." And that was Meher Baba. So yeah. And it happens a lot in one's life, I think, that Baba just prompts us and tells us, "I'm here, I did that. I helped you through that." Yeah.
A similar thing had happened to me ages back when I was in the Samadhi bowing down, and I got up and that voice told me, "This is where you belong."
Ah,
This, I'll never forget that.
yeah. How
And
sweet.
just tears kept rolling off my eyes, and this is where I belong. So I'm stuck with Baba, and whether he likes it or not, he can't get rid of this idiot.
No.
It's the way it is. I can see Ravi Erabolu smiling away under his great big mustache.
Jai Baba, thank
Jai
you,
Baba. Jai Baba.
Sam. Jai Baba, Joanne, very beautiful talk. It reminded me of all the lectures, the meetings I attended with the Bao Culture in Chicago over many, many years.
Mhm.
He narrated all these things, but it was so beautiful and so loving to again listen to all those things.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you, Baba.
I I had, the question you had that you wanted to see Baba physically, right? I had the similar question in my mind because we were Baba lovers in 60s, and every time we wanted to go to Baba's darshan, something would come up and we could not go due to various reasons. So I never saw Baba. So one time I was reading Baba's books and I was asking Baba, Baba, you were there, we were there. How come you didn't give us a chance to see you? And then within a couple of days, I picked up another book I was reading, I think Billy Page's book. Baba answers your question. There, it was written, Baba mentioning to somebody else, trying to see me physically is like trying to see a film star.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. I think you are loving. Basically, he mentioned, you are loving me. That is the most important. Whether you see me physically or not, it matters very little. Most important thing is to love me.
hmm.
That was the message I got from that book.
Wow.
Jai Baba.
Thank
That's
you very much, Ravi.
Thank you. Thank you.
So don't give much importance to Sam, you know. He just saw Baba. That's
Yeah,
Only-
absolutely. I don't give much importance to myself. So,
I'm just kidding. I
no,
love to kid with
true.
Sam, you know.
It's true. Anyway, anybody else wants to ask any questions? I see Anaita Kerawala's thing floating around with a heart and all that. Is that all?
Jai. Yes, Jai Baba. That's all I
Thank
have to
you.
contribute. I have enjoyed this
Thank
evening,
you.
Joanna. Thank you so much for sharing, these beautiful moments. You really took us back in time. And for us who have not been, you can say, fortunate enough to spend that much of time with Manli and that much of time in that kind of an atmosphere, this was a treat. Thank you.
And it's a treat for me too. Thank you so much, honey.
And Joanna, the treat has to continue because you today did not tell us anything about your times with Mera and Money and all the women monthly. So perhaps some other Thursday, whenever it's suitable,
Okay.
we could always have you over and mull over all those things. Okay?
That would be
Thank you.
great, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Very precious.
Yes. So thank you very much, Joanna.
Thank
Thank you,
you all.
Baba,
Thank you, Baba.
above everything else. And unfortunately, I have to leave early. So there is a lady called Farah who will be taking over now. She would be conducting the conclusion part and the prayers and everything. And then we shall disperse. I have to rush back because tomorrow early morning, we are taking the bus load of people to Meherabad, and there are some last minute glitches which need to be fixed. So I have to rush over there. Thank you, everybody, for having joined us. And Joanna, Jai Baba is all I
Jai-
can say to you.
Jai-
Thank you.
Hey, Baba, Joanna, this is Perrine from Toronto at this point. Baba willing, I'll be in India in October. Sweetie, it was lovely. Lovely to hear you give us all those beautiful stories of Pauji. Yes, I have been part of those things, so but it is wonderful to hear them again and again and revive Baba's love through Bhauji coming to us from you. Okay? So I just wanted to say many
Yeah.
thanks to you. Baba willing, we will meet in Meherabad.
Yes.
Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Meer Baba.
Bye, Spiru. Thank you. Jai Meher Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और न तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम अविभाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो। तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो। तुम सब लोगों पर हो और समस्त लोगों से परे भी हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव परोपकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपूर्ण एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम पर ब्रह्म हो और परात परिपर ब्रह्मा भी हो। तुम पर ब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो और मस्द हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम यजत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था, हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित ना था, और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए तथा दृष्ट प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दम या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता करो कि हम तुमसे अधिक का अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक, और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए। और तुम हम सबकी ऐसी सहायता करो कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
बुझावे नार सहलतनी कर कूद रात ने फरमातू छैला की आश भक्तों ने कि बख्शे नूरे मातू आयामो शाद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ ना धरिए सर खुदाना जात थी वाकिफ थाई बे तू मेहरबा तुझे माँ लेख हकीकत नो तू आशे भीने आरिफ भी तुझे दर या महात्मा ज्ञानी छने मो तारेर फातू खुदाना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सदके सा किया पी दे पैमा तू हमारी नाव भर डरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदाए मेहर बाबा छैनी गे बातू हमारा ना खुदाए मेहर बाबा छैनी गे बातू बुझावे नार सहलतनी कर कुद रत्न फरमातू छैलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious eternal ancient one, your face is a bright transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, Meher, I give to you to keep. Creator yet creationless you are, truth and truth's body, divine avatar, who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of bread of the world wheel that bears me on to death. Unless who are infinitely kind, break the wheels up which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining garb. You are myself, I sing to you in praise and beg your love to bear me through the days till you, the ever living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Thank you, beloved Baba. Thank you for everything. And we pray that Baba always blesses all of us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Baba.